Okay, hello guys. Today we are talking about the equations quadratics in a function. Okay, so let's move into the first slide about it. So here we can say that when we're trying to make some equations to become a quadratic, that can be written as a times something squared, okay, plus b times something plus c equals to 0, okay? So for example, like here, like the quadratic form, a times x fourth plus a bx squared plus c equals to 0. You can just trying to understand here x squared as a new value, like you can just consider x squared as u, okay? So then we can reason that as a times u squared plus b times u plus c equals to 0. So now you can find the main subject is u, right? So it becomes a total new quadratic functions based on u, right? Okay, that is the first quadratic form. And the second is called the radical form. So you can find here is square root x. Okay, so we can just try to let t equals to square root x, and then you can write that as t squared minus 5t plus 4 equals to 0. Then you can set, oh, maybe here t equals to 1 or t equals to 4. Then you can set here square root x equals to 1 or square root x equals to 4. Okay, then you can try to solve this. So x equals to 1 or x equals to 16. Okay, and also for exponential form. But now you don't need to understand this because in the A-level mathematics, P1, you don't need to understand for e power of x, but you can just try to understand here as a times the power of x. Okay, that is it. And here we can set that like ax, and you can just try to understand here as square, and here is for a very simple form for a power of x. Okay, so you can just try to solve the equations. This is also for quadratic equations, right? Okay. And we can say that we can just try to using the substitution method first identify the middle term variable, and then that it becomes u, and then check it whether it can be written as u squared, and then finally solving the quadratic equations. Okay, so let's have a working example together. Like here, solving x power 4 minus 13x power of 2 or x squared plus 36 equals 0. So you can find here, you can first let u becomes x squared, right? And then it can be written as u squared minus 13u plus 36 equals to 0, right? Then you can set that is u minus, here is for 4 and u minus 9 equals to 0, right? So we can say here that for x squared equals to 4 or x squared equals to 9. Please remember that the solution is not for 4 and 9 because this is just for u solution. You have to finally solve the x, right? Then you can say x squared equals to 4, so x equals to positive or negative 2, okay? And here x equals to positive and negative 3, right? Okay, that is it. And we can set here, solving it is very easy, right? Okay, so let's move to another kind of examples like here, x minus 6 times square root x plus 8 equals to 0, right? And we can set here, we can let square root x equals to u. So here, that u squared minus 6u plus 8 equals to 0. You can solve that for u minus 4 times u minus 2 equals to 0. So we can set here, u equals to 4 or u equals to 2. And then you can try to solve it as square root x equals to 4 or square root x equals to 2. So we can set x equals 16 or x equals to 4, okay? That is how we can calculate right here. And also for some tricky examples like 8 times x power of 6 plus 7 x power of 3 minus 1 equals 0. So now you can just try to let for u equals to x cubed. Then it can becomes 8 times u squared plus 7u minus 1 equals to 0, okay? That is it. And then you can set here is for like 8u, here is for u, here is plus 1, here is minus 1 equals to 0. So you can try to solve that for u equals to 1 over 8 or u equals to negative 1, okay? So u equals to x cubed, so here you can write that as x cubed equals to 1 over 8 or x cubed equals to negative 1. So here x equals to a half or x equals to negative 1, okay? That is how we can calculate right here for the equations right here, okay? And also here's some deliberate practice for you. So if you have your own ideas, you can just try to do it yourself. But if you want to follow with me, you can keep on going, okay? So maybe for first problem, it's very similar to we have already taken about, right? So we can just let u equals to x squared, so it can be u squared minus 5u plus 4 equals to 0, right? So here we can just trying to factorize it as u minus 4 times u minus 1 equals to 0, right? So we can say u equals to 4 or u equals to 1. But remember, here is only for solution of u, right? So exactly we have to find the x solution. So we can set here x equals to 2 or x equals to or positive or negative 2 or x equals to positive or negative 1, right? That is for first problem. And for second problem, we can set let u equals to square root x, right? So it can be becomes to u squared minus 7u plus 12 equals to 0, right? So you can write that as u minus 4 times u minus 0 equals to, u minus 3 equals to 0, right? So it can be written as u equals to 4 or u equals to 3, right? So we can also set the square root x equals to 4 or square root x equals to 3, x equals to 16 or x equals to 9, okay? And for the third problem, you can just try to let u equals to 2 power of x. That can be written as 3 times u squared minus 10 times u plus 3 equals to 0, right? And then you can also try to factorize it as 3u. Here is for u, here's minus 3, here's minus 1 equals to 0, right? So u equals to 1 over 3 or u equals to 3, right? So u equals to 2 power of x, so you can just try to write it as 2 power of x equals to 1 over 3 or 2 power of x equals to 3, right? But then you can just try to write it down as here x is, if you doesn't know about logarithm exponential, don't be worried about it. This can be written as log 2, here is for 1/3, or x equals to log 2, 3, okay? So that is for the solutions right here. And you can also use your calculator to calculate the exact values and exact answers here, okay? So that for today's our lesson, where we can try to understand how to solve the special equations or quadratic equations form, okay? They're very important for us to do so, okay? So that for today's our lesson. See you next time. Bye.